The Sufis are right, of course, when they say that ultimately every desire is really a disguised desire for God. It's a disguised desire for ultimate satisfaction and fulfillment and being fully and truly, completely who you are. And basically, we're talking about the source, realizing the source of all life. And everyone is longing for that, but in most humans still, the longing for the, what I sometimes call the return journey to where you came from, the source of all life, but never really left the source, of course. It's not really a journey, but it's words. There's a longing to return to the very source of life. And it's really only then, when you have discovered it, found it consciously, then there's a completion there of life. That's what the universe wanted. It wants two things. If you observe yourself, you know that this is true, and you are the universe. So you can learn a lot about the universe by observing yourself, because you are it, and it is you, and as above, so below. The tendency or the desire to create. The human being has the desire to create in the world of form, to bring things, to give birth to whatever it may be. It may be a material thing, it may be something else. But there's a desire in humans to participate in the act of creation, which, of course, the act of creation is there even without humans. There are millions of life forms on this planet alone come into being every moment. Millions of life forms of different kinds, it staggers the imagination how many different life forms come on this planet alone are being created every moment. And of course die at the same time, the continuous birth, death, continuously. Humans too, humans are being created. Every moment I can say a human being is being born now, somewhere on the planet. And a human being is dying a little bit slower now. But it's at this moment somebody is dying on the planet. And again. And again. And again. And being born. So there's the act of creation that the universe is engaged in, and creation is increasing in complexity. If you look at our planet alone, you see that there was a time when it was barren, there was only minerals. Then came plant life, and then other levels of life, increasing complexity. Like a tree, first there's only one branch, stem, one branch, and then a lot more smaller branches coming out of that. So it grows, and it goes into complexity. And even human life forms, if you go back in human history, human society and the human being was relatively simple thousands of years ago, even a few hundred years ago compared to now. There's much less complexity in people's personal lives, what they had to deal with, and the collective. So there is the universe then is growing in complexity and is indulging in or wanting or delighting perhaps in the act of creation, because otherwise it wouldn't be happening. It is a desire of the universe to create, and that's what it does. And that is reflected in humans. We participate in this wanting to give birth. So the act of creation can happen to the human. The human can create, and that's, in that sense, we are different from animals, because we can create all kinds of things that are totally new. We can create music, science, and many, many other things. Art, philosophies, pictures, movies, organizations, Wall Street, all kinds of things. And you can probably find in yourself that there's part of you that would like to do and participate in the act of creation and bring something into this world that wasn't here before, in the world of form. Maybe it's a book you want to write, or a piece of music, or you want to create an enlightened organization that changes things in the world, or whatever, or you want to help people who are suffering. You create a structure that is helpful, but you create something. There's that desire to, or in some people it is more fundamental. It's a desire to acquire something. Some people who are very much in the egoic consciousness don't see it so much as giving out into this, giving from your treasure and then create something. You must, to some extent, have already gotten beyond ego. If the creation comes through the fullness that you sense inside you, and from there you can truly create. This is really presence. In the egoic consciousness, they're also very interested in the world of form, but the egoic consciousness is not so much, doesn't come from the wanting to give, but wanting to have. So the ego goes, what can I get? And from presence, when you participate in the creation, it's more, what can I give birth to? That's the difference. So there is the egoic aspect of increasing complexity in the world of form and life forms. The egoic part is wanting something. So the ego comes not from fullness, but from neediness, from a sense of not enough. And so it says, where can I get? And that is the ego desire. The ego says, I desire that car because I will really feel better when I'm sitting in that car and driving it, especially if other people see me in it. Without other people, it doesn't really work, because it's only, okay, it's comfortable for the ego. Yes, it's a comfortable ride, but that's not such a big thing. It only begins to work for the ego if other people have cars that are not like mine, then it works. The same with the house or whatever you acquire, any possession. You can perfectly enjoy a nice house or a nice car without the ego deriving any pleasure from it or enhancing itself. I'm not saying things cannot be enjoyed. If you have no ego, you can still enjoy lovely things, but not because they add to your sense of self. It's the simple enjoyment of a beautiful thing that perhaps a human has created. A beautiful piece of furniture, could be a house. You enjoy that house. You would probably not want to acquire a 20-bedroom house for yourself when you're not coming from ego. It's unlikely that presence would say, I'd love a 20-bedroom house. We have So there's both the egoic aspect of wanting to not so much the ego, not so much create, but have, but it's the world of form, and the non-egoic desire of the universe to give birth to more forms and experience more forms. So the universe does it without the humans, but an added dimension comes in when the universe or the greater intelligence or consciousness creates through the humans something, a completely new level of creation comes in. And this is why we have the expression, we become co-creators with God.